Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm going to do a tribute reaction. This is a tribute to Tim Buckley, man. Tim Buckley, father of Jeff Buckley. Tim passed away on this day in 1975. So Mojo Pin messaged me and he gave me a heads up about that. And he suggested a quad reaction. So yeah, let's do a quad reaction, man. A tribute to Tim Buckley. I'm gonna start with Honey Man, followed by Once I Was, followed by Morning Glory, and then finally I Never Asked to Be Your Mountain. And what I'm gonna do here, man, is Mojo Pin 1983, he gave me a collection of texts to read. I guess there isn't a lot of Wikipedia information, so I'm basically going to just read what Mojo Pin gave me here. He basically did all the legwork, man, including the pictures and text, all the information here. So I basically don't have to do anything except read. So thanks for all the legwork that you've done, man. All right, so let's get this poppin', man. Starting with Honey Man. Tim Buckley, Honey Man. Let's get it. Live on the Old Gray Whistle Test, 1974. The resemblance between father and son is striking. Slide guitar. Honey Man by Tim Buckley. Wow. Excellent performer, excellent singer. The resemblance between father and son is just so striking. Unbelievable. Hey, let's pause for a sec. Yeah, man. Excellent. Their styles are quite similar. I would say Jeff has a higher pitch than his father, but their range are similar. Lots and lots of similarities between the two. Man, aside from that afro of Tim's, you could almost say at first glance they're the same person. Their resemblance to me is very, very striking, man. Okay, so Honey Man. I'm just going to do a quick read here. Introduce the man himself first, and then check out what we might have in regards to Honey Man. Okay, yeah, I'm just scrolling down. He's already warned me, Mojo Pin has already warned me that he has no info for Honey Man. So I'm just going to do a read to introduce the man himself, and then we'll just bounce to the next track. So, Tim Buckley. Timothy Charles Buckley III, born February 14, 1947 to June 29, 1975, was an American singer, songwriter, and guitarist. His music and style changed considerably through the years. He began his career based in folk music, but his subsequent albums experimented with jazz, psychedelia, funk, rock, soul, the avant-garde, and an evolving voice as instrument sound. Though he did not find commercial success during his lifetime, Buckley is admired by later generations for his innovation as a musician and his vocal ability. He died at the age of 28 from a heroin overdose, leaving behind his sons Taylor and Jeff Buckley, the latter of whom went on to become a musician as well. Buckley attended Lower High School in Anaheim, California. He quit football and cut classes regularly, focusing most of his attention on music instead. He befriended Larry Beckett, his future lyricist, and Jim Fielder, a bass player with whom he formed two separate musical groups. In '64, during French class, Buckley met Mary Guibert. I believe it's Guibert, Guibert, one grade his junior. Their relationship inspired some of Buckley's music and provided him time away from his turbulent home life. His father had become unstable, angry, and occasionally violent in his later years. He had suffered a serious head injury during the war. That, along with a severe work-related injury, was said to have affected his mental balance. Buckley and Guibert married October 25th in '65, as Guibert believed she was pregnant. The marriage angered Mary's father, and he did not attend the wedding. Buckley's father attended, but joked to the priest, quote, "I give it 6 months," unquote. Shortly after the wedding, Mary realized that she was not pregnant after all. The marriage was tumultuous, and Buckley quickly moved out. But Mary soon became pregnant. After several months, Buckley found himself neither willing nor able to cope with marriage and impending fatherhood. From then on, he and Mary saw each other only sporadically. They divorced in October 1966, about a month before their son, Jeff Buckley, was born. By then, Buckley and lyricist and friend Larry Beckett had written dozens of songs. Several were to appear on Tim's debut album. Buckley recorded his self-titled debut album in 3 days in Los Angeles in August of '66. He was generally unhappy with his albums after the fact. He described this one as like Disneyland. The album's folk rock style was largely typical of the time, although many people, including Lee Underwood, felt that the string additions by Jack Nitzsche did not enhance it musically. Critics, however, took note of Buckley's distinctive voice and tuneful compositions. Okay, yeah. And note by Mojo Pin 1983 here. None of these songs have Wikipedia pages, so I took some excerpts from the book Dream Brother, The Lives and Music of Jeff and Tim Buckley by David Brown. And then another note saying, I have no info for Honeyman. Okay, no problem, Mojo Pin. So we're just going to bounce to our second track, man, and that being Once I Was. Tim Buckley, Once I Was. Let's get it.
Once I was a soldier, and I fought on foreign sands for you. Once I was a hunter, and I brought home fresh meat for you. Once I was a lover, I searched behind your eyes for you. And soon there'll be another to tell you I was just alive. And sometimes I wonder, just for a while, searching through the ashes of our room.
I like the harmonica in the background.
For the days when we smiled, and the hours that ran wild, with the magic of our eyes, and the silence of our world. Sometimes I wonder, just for a while, will you ever remember me? Ever remember me?
Very nice. Very nice. Once I Was. Excellent song, man. Tim Buckley. Yeah, man. As we continue to go along, I'm hearing so many striking similarities between his vocal range, his singing, his manner of expressions and everything. Compared that to his son. They were definitely two chips you know, or one chip off the block, or however it is that you describe that. Their similarities are just so, and they're very unique too. They have a very unique way of singing and expressing themselves. And Tim, as well as Jeff, have an ability to kind of make your imagination just go. And this song definitely arrested my attention, and it was just going, it was off. You can see through their eyes what they're trying to convey in their music. Both of them have that ability. Excellent, excellent. All right, so let us do a read on Once I Was. According to the notes of Mojo Pin 1983, Once I Was. Tim and Beckett, that being Larry Beckett, Larry was Tim's collaborator and wrote many of his lyrics, wanted each album side to open with social commentary. So side 1 begins with No Man Can Find the War, whose lyrics, Bayonet and Jungle, Grin, Nightmares, Dreamed by Bleeding Men, constitute Tim's and Beckett's most explicit anti-war comment. Beckett says the actual topic is less combat than the plump American sitting in front of the TV, letting all this happen with his tax dollars. The music is stern and rigorous, a death march of congas and guitars. For dramatic emphasis, the song starts and finishes with atomic bomb explosions, also taken from a sound effects LP. And I really like the harmonica in the background. It's kind of like gave you a distant feel. I really like that. Not as loud and as pronounced as in other tracks, like for example blues tracks. The other less obvious war song is Once I Was, an homage to Fred Neil's Dolphins. Sometimes I wonder, just for a while, will you ever remember me? Is a blatant nod to the refrain of Neil's song. Sometimes I wonder, do you ever think of me? The war reference is limited to its opening line, but the song's mood of loss and longing could easily apply to an American soldier in Vietnam. With its click-clock beat and old West harmonica, the track, like everything around it, sounds like nothing else on the album. Okay, and that is the text and the info given on Once I Was. Excellent notes. All right, now. So, let's bounce to our third track, that being Morning Glory. Tim Buckley, Morning Glory. Let's get it.
I lit my purest candle close to mine.
It's a video.
Window, hoping it would catch the eye of any vagabond who passed it by. And I waited in my fleeting house. Before he came, I felt the ancient fear. And as he neared, I felt him drawing near. That he had come to wound my door and jeer. But I waited in my fleeting house. Oh, tell me stories, I called to the hobo. Stories of old, I smiled at the hobo. Stories of cold, I wept to the hobo. And fleeting house. No, said the hobo, no more tales of time. Don't ask me now to wash away the grime. I can't come in for it's too high a climb. And it stood before my fleeting house. Then you be damned, I screamed to the hobo. Turn into stone, I wept to the hobo. Leave me alone, I knelt to the hobo. And he walked away from my fleeting house.
All right, man. Morning Glory. Another excellent song, man. Another excellent song that really captures your attention, your imagination, and takes you off on a little trip. This guy definitely has some excellent singing prowess, man, and great range. And, well, again, I'm probably going to say it all the way through the entire reaction. The similarities between father and son, so complementary, so strikingly similar. It's uncanny. And of course they look so much alike too, man. Coupled with all of that. That was an excellent song, man. Excellent tune. Let us see what Mojo Pin has for us with Morning Glory here. Okay, so it says, at Herb Cohen's, Tim's manager, home one day, Tim asked Beckett to write a song about a hobo, perhaps recalling his childhood in Bell Gardens. Beckett chose the image of a morning glory to symbolize blossoms that opens quickly with the coming of the light. In late years, Tim would introduce the song in concert as being about a hobo beating up a collegiate kid outside of Dallas, Texas, which Beckett says was not the inspiration. In hindsight, Beckett feels his lyrics for the Morning Glory are clunky, but Jerry Yester produced Tim's albums Goodbye and Hello and Happy Sad, worked up a quietly spine-tingling arrangement built around tender piano and an ethereal choir that, in actuality, consisted of Tim's and Yester's combined multi-tracked voices. Another neighbor and Cohen client was a sensuous young singer from Tucson, Arizona named Linda Ronstadt. Jane Goldstein, a friend of Tim's, described Ronstadt as the somewhat chubby girl who hid candy bars under her bed and seemed to be exceedingly insecure. With her band, the Stone Ponies, Ronstadt recorded versions of several of Tim's songs, including Morning Glory, retitled Hobo, Wings, and Aren't You the Girl? Once again, probably a case of Cohen keeping the publishing company in the family. According to friends, Tim wasn't fond of Ronstadt's belting style and was upset when Cohen called him one day to say she would be covering his songs. Still, they were friendly. One day, Tim and Jane were asked to come down the street to Ronstadt's house, where a photo was being taken for Ronstadt's next album. When the album Stone Ponies and Friends Volume 3 was released the following year, its back cover sported a group shot on the steps of Ronstadt's clapboard Venice home, Tim and Jane huddled together amidst the friends. In 1999, his longtime admirer, Chrissie Hynde, saluted him with a covering of Morning Glory. Okay, excellent. Yeah, that really speaks volumes to his inspiration and his influence on his contemporaries, and obviously his future being an example for his son to follow. So he's a very inspirational person. 1975, wow. It's any time is a bad time to be to pass, of course, but 1975, I guess, was kind of like probably right in the middle of things, the peak of that folk rock sound. You know, I'm thinking of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Joni Mitchell. You know, so had Tim lived just probably a few years longer, who knows? I mean, he would have probably blown up to, I don't know if that same level, but he would have certainly blown up a lot more, you know. So it's sad that he passed at the time that he did, because I think that it would have been probably just that momentum shift that would have probably really ejected him much, much higher. So that's my feeling anyway. Let's bounce to our final track, man. I Never Asked to Be Your Mountain. I never asked to be your mountain. Let's get it.
land. And I'm sailing all my sins and I'm climbing all my fears. And soon I'll
Incredible, man.
I never asked to fly. Remember when you came to me and told me of this life? You didn't understand my love. You don't know why I tried. And the rain was falling on that day, and that's the reason why.
Very personal, introspective, professional. Tim Buckley, I never asked to be your mountain. Damn. Brother's got skills. Father is just as talented as son. Son is just as talented as father. Their singing style is complementary, strikingly similar. Yo, man, that was excellent. That could have easily have been Jeff singing, you know. That was fantastic. Had he lived just a few years longer, I have no doubt in my mind that he would have definitely seen a serious blowing up, if you will, of his music and his influence. I mean, he was rubbing shoulders with the likes of Crosby, Stills, Nash Young, Joni Mitchell, you know, that folk rock sound that he's delivering and that incredible vocal range that he's got. Yo, that's a combination where you just couldn't miss, man. And sadly, he left at a certain time where I believe that at that point he would have blown up. And it's just like his son too, you know. Tim died at 28, Jeff died at 29. Both tragic circumstances, and both at that peak right at the edge where they were just about to blow up. You know, very, very similar in their styles and the whole aspect of their lives, man. You know, it's like a parallel, you know, lifestyle that they were both living. Yo, Tim is an excellent, excellent artist, great singer, songwriter. This particular song was great, man. I know it's a very personal, expressive song. I think it's a confessional, and I like the use in the congas. That driving beat really, really gave you a feeling of his maybe turmoil, maybe anxiety, you know, something that he was feeling, lots and lots of emotional content about. You know, excellent. All four of these songs. Excellent, excellent quad. Well done, Mojo Pin. Put them together very well, man. You know, Mojo sent me not only the songs and the texts and the images, but also the sequence and how to listen, what to listen for, and all of that sort of thing, man. So, okay, well done. Let us do a read on I Never Asked to Be Your Mountain. See what we can learn about this tune then. So, half of the albums, that being Goodbye and Hello, were written by Tim alone, and one of them, I Never Asked to Be Your Mountain, is particularly personal. Although it mentions no names and refers to his ex-wife, Jeff's mother, Mary Goubert, pronounced Guibert, hard G sound allegored. Thanks, Mojo Pen. It is Tim's song to Mary and his barely year-old son. Quote, "The flying Pisces sails for time and tells me of my child. Wrapped in bitter tales and heartache, he begs for just a smile. Oh, he never asked to be her mountain. He never asked to fly. And through his eye, he comes his love and tells her not to cry." Elsewhere in the song, Tim addresses what he sees as Mary's dependence on him. I never asked to be your mountain. I never asked to fly. And what he imagines Mary was telling their son about his father. She says, "Your scoundrel father flies with a dancer called a queen," an apparent reference to Jane, before bidding a last goodbye to Mary. "I can't swim your waters, and you can't walk my lands, and I'm sailing all my sins and climbing all my fears, and soon I'll fly." The song is striking not merely for its personal, if oblique, lyric, but for its music. Built on a dense thicket of guitars and congas, it throbs with pain and confusion, and Tim's voice grows more impassioned, more desperate with each line, charged with emotional electricity as well as a certain lack of responsibility. I Never Asked to Be Your Mountain was the most unrestrained and fiery performance Tim had written and recorded to that point. Okay, man. Yeah, Mojo Pin gave me a list of even more info here, excerpts of pages, but we're going to stop here. Yeah, man. Excellent grouping of songs, a great quad, and an excellent grouping of songs to remember Tim by, his talent and the potential of what he had going forward. And sadly, again, passing at that time, was sad, because I knew that beyond that point, I'm very, very sure he would have really blown up commercially. And he was very influential. He inspired the likes of Linda Ronstadt and Chrissy Hind, and also definitely his son. I see his son's singing and manner of expression coming from that. So he definitely was a very influential person. Striking resemblance, man, in every single way to each other. Aside from Tim's afro, I would probably have to do a serious double take to be able to distinguish that it's two different people. Yeah, very, very similar in their styles, in their looks, and their life, how it ended, both tragically, at so young an age, and both at that point of blowing up, But, Tim did leave us with some excellent music. So, this quad was very, very well selected, Mojo. Very good, man. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to scroll down before I bounce, man, and see what I got coming up here. So this is June 29th, and I pushed Jimmy back one day to do this tribute to Tim. So tomorrow, I'm going to close off the month with a Jimi Hendrix full album reaction, that being Are You Experienced? Going forward, of course, I'm going to continue to do more Jimi Hendrix reactions. So that's my note for Jimmy. And then, okay, Artist of the Month. Yeah, recently, a number of artists have joined, or a number of patrons have joined. So it's a very, very tight grouping right now in the running for Artist of the Month. I've got Queen, Deep Purple, The Doors, Aerosmith, and Humble Pie. So at this point, it could be anybody's winning game here, and it keeps shifting around from day to day as different patrons join. So in the last week or so, there's been a number of patrons that's come along, and it's really changed the tide of things. So we'll see going forward. I'll know definitely by the first. I'll let you guys know, and then from there, depending on who the winning artist is, you can then give me some suggestions as to what songs or albums or what have you to react to for that particular winning artist. So those are my notes, man. Thank you once again, Mojo Pin 1983, for putting this together. Tim Buckley tribute. The text, the notes, the sequence, the links, and also as well the pics and everything. So you did all the work, man. I didn't have to do anything except read. So you made it quite easy. So thanks for that. This was excellent. Great quad, great talent, and definitely very complimentary of the Sun. So great quad altogether, man. So thanks very much. Hope you enjoyed this tribute reaction to Tim Buckley, and I'll catch you in another reaction. Peace.